And we now move on to our next session, which is the first panel of the day. And please allow us a time of a minute to set the stage for the panel members. While the stage is being set, let me quickly give you a heads up what this panel is going to decide and what this panel is going to discuss. For the names of the panel members, when I'll be introducing, that comes later. Let us first talk about what this eminent panel is going to talk about. Changing face of customer experience in the age of AI. And some of the highlights of discussion is going to focus around how AI will improve customer experience, AI's role in predicting customer behavior and the needs of the customer, AI-powered business insights to improve decision-making for the companies, how AI is making market capability and boosting engagement, how the AI is making marketing more targeted and effective, AI-based customizations by analyzing customer behavior and insights, and how major brands use AI to improve customer experience. And we have a plethora of panel experts who would be gracing the panel and would be sharing their valuable thoughts and insights on this. So now, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome, with a big round of applause, our honorable panel members in the order of the sequence. Joining us first, Mr. Suraj Shetty, Head of Customer Experience, Kissht Loan Private Limited. A big round of applause to Suraj. Suraj, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. Joining next, we have Ms. Rebecca Nunes, Head of Banking Operations from LoanTap. A big round of applause to Rebecca. Rebecca, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. Joining next, we have our Honorable Mr. Vijaybahu Joshi, Assistant Vice President and Head of Experience Design from Juhu. A big round of applause to Vijaybahu ji. Please take a seat, sir. Joining next, we have our next honorable panel member, Mr. Shailesh Ghodekar, Global Corporate Quality Assurance Head from Marico. A big round of applause to Shailesh ji. Welcome to the panel, sir. Please have your seat. Joining next, we have our next honorable panel member, Mr. Dsouza, Assistant Vice President Consulting from Infocomm. A big round of applause to Novel. Novel, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. And now I would like to call on our honorable moderator of the panel and a veteran in the industry, Mr. KV Dipu, Senior President, Bajaj Allianz General Insurance. A big round of applause, Dipu ji. Welcome to the panel. And all over to you, sir. Looking for a great session.
Good morning, everyone. Is it on? Yeah, morning, can you hear me? Okay, good morning. So we'll, we were discussing before the panel started, that we'll try and make up for lost time. So all my panelists have, promised to keep it brief, and exciting. So we'll start with a round of, introductions. And can I request you to, kickstart, with an introduction to you, your firm, and, a couple of lines about your experience.
Is this, can you hear me? Yeah. So my name is Rebecca Nunes. I work for LoanTap Credit Product Private Limited company. We are an NBFC. And I've been with the organization for like 2 years. I take care of the customer service. I head the customer service part. And it's very exciting. I love the thrill. And I'm very passionate about people. So I feel every customer should be given the same attention, whether it's a small issue or a complex issue. And I believe in resolving every question that comes our way in a more easy manner. Also looking for customer loyalty, which matters the most, and how we can work towards, maintaining this is what we do every day. Sorry, it's my first.
Thank you, Suraj.
Thank you, Dipu. Good morning, everybody. Myself, Suraj Shetty. I head Customer Experience and Learning and Development for Kissht and Ring. Kissht and Ring are fintech platforms. We provide easy access to credit to millennials, Gen Z, and to those who do not have access to traditional lines of credit. So it's a beautiful match between customer experience and learning and development, because being in customer experience, it helps me understand what the customers need and accordingly create learning courses or learning opportunities for employees based on customer requirements so that they are learning the right things in the right direction. Thank you very much. Happy.
Good morning, everyone. I am Shailesh Ghodekar. I am a Global Corporate Quality Head for Marico, which is into beauty and wellness. Our purpose is to make a difference to all our stakeholders. And one of our key stakeholders are consumers. I head the quality function, and basically our vision of a quality function should be, it should be a key enabler to drive business growth. Quality should be a profit center and not a cost center.
Hello. Yeah. Hi, good morning. I'm Vijaybahu Joshi. I presently represent Juhu. I head the experience design vertical there. For the last 25 years, I've been designing experiences, and I'm possibly the only designer sitting in the room here right now. So that's what I do. I've been working especially in the area of emotional interactivity, which is making the systems emotional, reactive, sometimes responsive as well over the last 11 years roughly. And in my previous organization, I did develop a model for emotional interactivity, which also got patented. So that's a brief introduction. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dsouza. I represent CS Infocomm. I head the business consulting for the company. CS Infocomm are basically solution consultants and system integrators, contributing towards the era of driving hassle-free customer experience. Talking about myself, been into this space of customer experience, driving CX for a lot of BFSI organizations, and been into this space for almost 2 decades. Started my career with a BPO, and then now driving organizations, helping organizations to drive their CX for their organization. And just to give you a last note, today customer experience is more challenging because of the technology coming into picture. At the same time, we would say that it's also easy now to leverage that technology over the customer experience as well. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you, Rebecca, Suraj, Shailesh, Vijay, and Novel. Thank you for sticking to time. And as you can see, our panelists have rich experience, and they come from a variety of industries. So as much as you're looking forward to hearing from them, so am I. So let's kickstart this. The topic, as you all know, is the changing phase of customer experience in the age of AI. The topics are not new. We all know about CX, and we all know about AI. And just before I kickstart, a brief intro to myself. My name is Dipu, and I'm the CEO at Bajaj Allianz General Insurance. Been with the firm for more than 7 years. And our attempt always has been to stay ahead of the industry in terms of our customer experience. So I'll start with a pointed question. I'll start with Rebecca and Suraj. And the question is, true to the topic, we spoke about 2 pillars, AI and CX. Therefore, we'd like to know, how is AI transforming traditional customer service models? And therefore, what are the key benefits to the business as well as consumers? We'll start with you, Rebecca.
So like we see, AI has evolved a lot, and suddenly there's a lot of talk about what AI is and what AI is doing. And obviously, I will not tell you my age, but over the period of years, say it's been quite some time where we've evolved from telephones to mobile phones and fancy mobile phones with so many key features, and it keeps changing. Your iPhone keeps changing every 6 months probably. And there's so much to learn, and there's so much that you can do, which was not possible earlier. So earlier you had to be in line till your call got attended. Probably the answer was not satisfactory, or the call got disconnected. But because AI has come into the picture, you have chatbots, you have virtual assistants to help you. The time that you used to consume to avail of probably a single document, it's right now on your fingertips. And it will evolve more. We use AI in our day-to-day lives. We see how we should be using AI within the company to enhance the customer experience. Obviously, it has cost effectiveness. You can train people. An AI can train people. You don't really need people to train you. You can have good modules. You have multi-language options. There's so much actually, Omni support channels. What else, what more could I say is 24/7 accessibility, which is very important. You can access details on your phone at any given point of time, even after business hours, which is a very good thing, and that is how it has changed, and that is how it has evolved, even for businesses as well as the customers.
Thank you. Yeah, Suraj.
Uh, that's an interesting question, Dipu. And I think I can broadly think of three areas where I think, irrespective of industry, can see AI giving a boost to customer experience. First would be the ability to route the customer to the right agent who can give the best possible service so that he doesn't have to approach multiple times. Now, this can be done based on looking at which was the agent who serviced the customer the last and just trying to connect to the same agent so that he can be able to better service him. Second would be also looking at the tenure of the agent. That is, if the customer is an irate customer, AI can recognize the sentiment of the customer as well as the type of customer, if it's a repeat customer or a new customer. And also, if it's a complaint customer whose ticket is already open, then it's better to route him to an L2 agent who can handle grievance better. So the routing, smart routing of customers to the right agents can be better done by AI. Second, I would say, is agent assist, which is already present, but AI can make it better with respect to suggesting the right articles, right solutions, level 1, level 2, and level 3 solutions for agents when customers come to them, so that they don't have to waste time or keep customers on hold. And third, for tech first, especially for tech first services, I would say today a lot of customers face problem, no matter which app they are using, they come across some kind of bugs or technical issues in the app. And resolving these bugs usually takes some time, because once just one or two customers, if they're facing an issue, it doesn't come to light. When a lot of customers face, it gets reported and people start fixing it. So it's necessary to having a AI-based solution which can track the bugs and immediately report it along with the right information to the technical support desk can help the customer a lot. Because if the customer is trying to fill a form and is not able to fill a form or is not able to proceed on a particular page, the AI-based solution, if you can raise an alert immediately and inform the customer that within 24 hours this problem can be solved, I can see that there is a problem. So there is no requirement for him to get in touch with customer service, because anyways customer service will do the same thing. They will just pass the ticket, they cannot solve technical issues. So an AI-based solution for reporting of bugs and resolving them is, I think, for tech-first services and companies, that would be a great boon.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Suraj. Let me just go across to, Shailesh, Vijay, and Novel. Now, when we talk about AI, right, we're talking about consumers who are humans, right? So how do we balance AI automation while maintaining a human touch in customer experience, especially those industries where personalization is very important? And in doing so, what are the challenges, that you've overcome?
Yeah, I think very important, and I will start with the examples. For example, if you have a AI, and I'll give an example, like recently I was in Australia and happened to visit a KFC stores, and just by the facial recognition, I think, and they captured the data, the age, the preference, the mood, and they said these are the dishes which are available for you. Okay, I was amazed to see this just by the facial recognition. AI was able to capture my moods, the age, the tentative, and the preference of the food, and then these are the two preferences you want. So I think it's very important that such technologies are available. Let me talk of another example. Okay, I happened to visit oats farm, and if you see Australian, the oats are one of the best oats farm. And when I went there, it was a 3,000 hectares farm, and I asked them a simple question: how many manpower you have? And she came and told me, I'm only single one. I was amazed to see single. Yeah. They have a header system basically where they captures the entire, it works from sowing to harvesting. So the soil quality, the seeds, the fertilizer, the temperature across, the rainfall, each and every data has been captured by those headers, and that has been analyzed, and then they can predict the quality of the grains, they can predict the quality of the oats which can be found. So I feel that is very, very important. Coming to the human touch which you talk about, I think coming to a Marico example, I just want to start. We have a complaint handling or a query handling system. And when we receive queries or when we receive a feedback, I think what I have told my team, the challenge is, can we capture the emotions of the consumers who are writing to us, okay, so that I can personally, when we get this emotion, whether it's an irate consumer, whether it's a softer consumer, we can handle in the proper way. So I think that's very, very important that yes, while you have a technology, human touch is very important because empathy and caring is very important when we talk to the consumers.
Thank you so much, Shailesh. Yeah.
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 Dipu, there are three parts to my answer, and this is again coming as a practicing designer. It's a very, very different analogy possibly you can connect with. So as a practitioner, I've noticed we are often not dissecting our CX journey properly. And there are so many critical points, and each point, of course, cannot be measurable. So there is an arithmetic measurement and there is an emotional measurement. We haven't trained enough professionals in the industry who can do emotional measurement. That is what we call as implicit data, which is where we hire research firms and all. So I'll just quote a quick example. Suppose you are someone, a pharmaceutical ordering organization, and people place medicine order to you, right? And let's take a sub-use case in that, and that's a language we talk as a designer. So the person has ordered a critical, high-value cancer medicine. The person ordered a lot for 3 months, 180 pills, 2 pills a day at the rate of, and the person received a consignment or an order which was expiring over the next 2 months. So from a legal perspective, yes, the order was correctly delivered, but nobody guessed on the way that the overall lot will expire over the 2 months, and the lot is meant to sustain over the 3 months. Now these are very critical intervention points where we jump on the AI bandwagon as a FOMO effect. Everyone is doing, let me also do that. So that's one part. The other part is, anything in AI has to be first experimented and practiced manually. We are not doing that in most situations. So you practice manually, you repeat, you practice manually, repeat, and anything which is then perfected in terms of a manual intervention, particularly the low-hanging fruits, I would say, should go to the AI part. Citing the same example, and this is where I guess the Southwest airline also comes into picture as a classic CX example. If the person would have dissected, and maybe there was enough AI intervention in the system which calculated that this medicine lot is possibly for 3 months, but the date is expiring over the 2 months, and the order is stopped, goes over to an agent, the agent calls up that person very politely and asks, like, would it be okay if I ship out 50%, because while I do have medicines which are expiring over the 2 months, but you can effectively only consume it for 2 months. Now that's adding to the customer delight. And from there we move to the third point, which is the most critical point. Who is observing the situation and what is being observed? Are you observing people? Are you observing supply chain scenarios? And this is where fundamentally most of the industry problem is, that if a steel-hearted person is at the helm of a CX affair and they are observing such kind of scenarios, they may not be able to feel the pinch. And this is very, very also critical for the finance industry, where a 50 rupees recharge fails or a 25 rupees recharge fail. And the person who is observing the scenario, the minimum take home is 2 lakhs a month, right? So the person won't be able to feel that factor as an empathy. So the last point is the critical point, broadly, who is observing and what is being observed. And that is where most of the AI innovations will come into picture. And we'll hope, I think we'll have more serious effort being put onto the, I would say, implicit data to dissect the CX journey properly.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Novel.
Thank you, Vijay. Dipu, I'd like to answer this question in 2 parts again. So we are actually talking about AI versus human here. Today, AI-powered technology is a very critical aspect for the contact center for driving today and tomorrow's customer experience. Now, let me answer the second part of the question. Right? I think most of us here with the same generation, and I remember in my childhood days watching these movies of Matrix and Terminator, where it actually showed how can a machine can take over human. It was fiction, it was fantasy, but it is really not true that a machine can take over a human, right? I would also like to quote another example. If you all remember the car Fiat, it had a gear stick. And today we have automated gear system vehicles. We call this as ADAS, right? Which assists the driver to drive safely and reach the destination at the right time. So, actually speaking, AI-powered technology here is not to, replace the human. In fact, it cannot negate the human touch, right? And now coming to the conversational and generative AI, again, I would like to quote an example here. If you really see in an aeroplane, you have a pilot, you have a co-pilot, and you have an alert system, which is a radar system giving that alarms or notification. Today, in fact, that pilot is also an autopilot because there is softwares and technologies giving him alarms, notification in advance about assisting it. And I would also like to quickly correlate with this term, which is a in buzzword, which you call it as an agent assist, right? It is basically nothing. Today, the technology is empowering the agents and the supervisor to be more proactive in managing or driving customer experience, right? And if I would like to summarize, conversational AI and generative AI is going to change the way that we drive that end consumer experience. Thank you.
So firstly, I wish to thank all my panelists before I go to the next round. As you can see, right, they avoided standard phrases like data is the new oil, speed is the new mantra, right? You saw them actually putting in efforts to come prepared and talk from their own experience, right? So I really like to thank them for that. Before we go to the second round of questions, just to make it more interactive, I wanted to ask the audience, do you have any questions which you would like to ask the panelists? Okay, then we'll go with our second round, and if there are any questions, please feel free to. So there's one hand raised. Okay, maybe you can give a mic there.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It was a wonderful session, though. Just curious about AI. So what I feel is when you said who's observing and who's using it, one side. So my question is just to all of you. Like when it comes to human versus AI, so how can we see ourselves in next 10 years? Like, are we going to, just like 10 years back, we were not that aware about social media and the world, how it works. So how are we going to see where is this world is moving ahead with the AI? So that's what.
So anyone would like to take it? Any one of you? Nobody? Okay, then maybe I'll take a shot at it. So your question was around how the world will shape up in 10 years thanks to AI, right? See, one is if you look at the evolution of AI, right now, we are at a point of inflection, especially with Gen AI, because earlier AI was linked to automation, which is basically if you compare it to the human brain, the left-hand side of the brain. Now Gen AI, you're talking about the right-hand side of the brain, which is you're entering realms of, creativity and, typical, more complex cognitive human functions. So what can happen, if you do crystal ball gazing and if you take a 10-year view, you will find that AI and human beings will coexist because AI can do a lot of your human tasks in a far more simple manner. Why is Gen AI all the rage today? Because in a fraction of the time that we human beings take, it can consume the world's knowledge, right? If you ask a Gen AI tool, just give me a 3-day plan to move around Mumbai, right? It can tell you in a fraction of the time that human beings take, right? It can give you a thorough plan. So in a task where machines are better than humans, right? Where the creator is better than the creator, right? Obviously it will sustain, there's a competitive advantage. At the same time, there is a born-again focus on core human skills, right? Like empathy, right? Because some of this is core to human beings. So these are skills where you will see a lot of focus. So you will see, humans and AI, coexisting, let's say in the next 10 years. The other thing which will do is it can create a huge, leveling field. Because if this becomes the industry standard, today, you will find variations within industries and across industries, in terms of, competencies of various firms. But if this becomes an industry standard, then you will find that, there's a level playing field for a lot of industries. And then the real competitive arena will happen where you can add to it, beyond this. And I'll give you one example. There's a very famous, media house. So they basically leveraged Gen AI and then they got quick output. But then they realized that everybody else was doing the same. So what they did is they used their internal data, which of course only they had, and they topped up their tool with this, and then they were able to get a huge competitive advantage in the marketplace. Whereas those firms which rely only on technology, recently we heard about a firm which shut down because firms were using them for doing homework. Today, students were using them. Today, students don't go to them because they have a free tool available. If I have a free tool, why will I pay for the service? So you need to keep figuring out what is free, what becomes industry standard, and therefore, how do I stay ahead of the game? And that becomes tougher as a basic task become automated. So that's how, we see. And you're already seeing that in some firms. For example, there is a firm in Hong Kong where on the board of directors, one of the directors is not a human being. It's, it is an AI tool. It is one of the directors on the board of directors. So that's how, we can see the future.
So, Dipu, I'll just add to what
Please.
you have said. I think I gave an example of our Australian oats. While the AI technology has made the best of the quality of the oats through this technology, but finally the consumers who taste it, I think the sensory part, I think that AI can't replace it. It's a feel when we eat it, when we experience it. It will take us closer, but finally the human's touch, the human sensory part, or whatever, it will definitely remain. That's very, very important.
Yeah, just to add a touch of humor there, I don't think any AI tool can judge my wife's emotion. I've tried, it never worked.
Absolutely.
Dipu, may I take that?
Please.
Yeah. Fundamentally, AI, I'm just not killing the entire topic, but AI has been there since the time humans were there. Fundamentally, so the very ability to lock your house and the latch that remembers that the house has to be latched. It kind of remembers that, you need to be in that position. So there are various things like taps and everything, all have been having AI. So fundamentally, at a very, very broad level, these are energy saving tools. Now, over the subsequent generations, as we go much more deeper, there have been enough research and studies going on that the layered thinking of human beings will go down because we are gradually dependent on these systems. Right? And that is where some balance need to be there, that how much of AI, so we call this the zero AI zones, where in fact most of these leading organizations who develop AI components, they effectively, very simply, they don't allow mobile phones in their premises because they want creative thinking. So in your entire system, you need to kind of dissect, how much of AI is relevant and how much it should not be. But broadly, at a very large level, it will have some kind of a negative impact in terms of your ability to think between the lines and between the layers.
Any other question? Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I see a hand raised. Maybe you can give a mic there.
Yes.
This table.
So, in the morning, Rajiv Singh said that AI model that we form should be unbiased. But the model when we form, the input data will be done by the humans only. And the humans basically are biased in nature. So if you wanted to make a AI model totally unbiased, how many humans are different? Are the data should be taken by a different type of humans so that the input total data will be unbiased, and then the model will work as a unbiased totally. What is the way out?
Good question. Anyone wants to take it? Suraj.
So I think what we saw in the last presentation, what he meant to say was that with unbiased data, the kind of data you feed in, when you're expecting a kind of response, for example, they were looking at murderers. So they had only taken murderers of a particular kind, due to which the output was also biased. So it's necessary that when you feed the overall data and not just the kind of data they are looking for. So for example, if you need to give the customers the right kind of loan offers, since I'm from a fintech lending company, I'm just giving that example. For example, if you want to give the customers a right kind of loan offers, so if you're just looking at the credit score of the customer and just feeding the credit score related to the credit history of the customer, it won't work out because it will be very biased. It would just show how the customer has been behaving with other lenders. Instead of just feeding the credit data, if you also feed in his social interaction data on different social media platforms, the online data that he has, as well as other data on, for example, what kind of expenses he has been doing, what kind of shopping he has been doing, these all, the 360-degree view of the customer would enable the engine to take a better decision on whether, even if the customer has a bounce in the recent past, the system can relate to it that, okay, this bounce was because it's just one-time event, because there was some issue going on. Or for example, during COVID, a lot of people had defaulted because of job loss. So when the system knows that, okay, there was a job loss and because of this, the default has happened, then the default will not be related to the loan offer. The loan can get rejected because there is a valid reason for it. It was not an ongoing behavior. So feeding all sets of data to the system is very much important rather than just feeding what we think is important for us, because that's what we understand. So all data that's available for the customer has to be fed in so that we get an overall view about the customer. I think that's what I think.
I think that's a very good example that Suraj gave. Just to add to that, the human mind is wired for shortcuts. So what happens is if you meet somebody, you don't let data help you from a perception. That's where stereotypes come in. Your mind will go back to people of that nature you have met. If let's say you had a bad experience with a particular person from a particular place, your mind will start to think of that. Whereas what happens with machines is if you just give it all the data and you don't bring in your bias or rules, let the machine decide. You tell the machine, these are the data variables of the 1 million customers we have had. This is the data to the same example. These are the customers. This is the data in terms of customers who are paid and customers who are not paid. The machine can do linking because it can process millions of variables at a point in time, which we human beings cannot. And then it can draw conclusions without any bias. So that's why if you can try your best to make it data-based and remove the rules and let the machine derive, it can become as bias-free as possible. Can it be zero bias? It's very difficult, but it can be as bias-free as possible. Any other question? Only 2 questions. Okay. So let's make it a rapid fire since we have, very little time left. So maybe take just about a minute, like this one. So I'll come to you. So we all heard about Gen AI, right? So what's been your experience? Customer expectations are rising. Firms face challenges. Firms have to come up with solutions. So anything you'd like to share and, just a rapid fire response.
So yeah, we do face challenges most of the times when it comes to, responding to the customer's query specifically. The language that we use, the grammar that we use. And I would like to say that I have used ChatGPT and I have found it very useful. Whether it's for a poetry, for an essay, you want a reply in brief, you need pointers, or you can, I've played a lot in ChatGPT to see the various options that it could offer me. So what I feel is companies should actually embrace technology, use it in their current processes. And as a company, we are thinking of incorporating ChatGPT in our responses system that we have. We have our own in-house system, how we are going to incorporate it, how we can respond to the customer in a speedy time, which takes lesser time. Scalability should be there, like as many times as the customer wants to ask questions, he should be able to, which a normal...
Global Corporate Quality Assurance Head from Marico. Thank you so much, Shailesh, for your wonderful contribution in the panel session. Next, we move to Mr. Dsouza, Assistant Vice President, Consulting from CS Infocomm. Novel, thank you so much for your wonderful contribution in the panel. Would request the honorable panel members to kindly step forward for a group photograph. And Melton, if you could also join them. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the first panel of the day, and what a fantastic start we had. Changing face of customer experience in the age of AI. Esteemed panel members delivered excellent viewpoints on this particular subject. Thank you all, honorable panel members. And thank you so much, Dipu ji, for wonderfully moderating the panel.